Okay, this is the intro for the podcast.
Oh, I decided I don't want to do this anymore.
Haven't you people ever heard?
Wow.
Episode 50.
Welcome back to
Wow.
the Big 50.
50 first dates.
Holy shit. I'm your
Let's
host,
name all
Sam.
movies with 50 in the title.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Why didn't we think of that?
Okay, Joker 50. Monty Python and the Holy 50. Taxi 50. Hey guys, I'm Sam. Welcome back.
Hi, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Blake.
And it's been a very fucking long time. We hope everyone's been doing okay at best.
I haven't.
Okay.
COVID-19, am I right? Or like it's almost like it's COVID-20.
The year for the best.
Oh, shit.
So we've already hit 50 episodes. Congratulations, everyone. We survived.
Kind of epic.
We're alive. And we thought that what better way to commemorate the occasion than rattle off 50 of our top movies. Cinema.
Bad.
Sponsored by thelobster.com.
Wait, I thought you said 50 favorite snacks.
Oh, shit. You're right, dude. So,
I think I could
They're
think
all
of 50
meatloaf.
snacks.
yeah, I could eat 50, but I can't really think of them right now.
Yeah.
Am I right? Am I right, everyone?
If
Quarantine?
pizza isn't number one, don't talk to me.
So
Only
I
two things I need is pop pumpkin pizza.
This episode's going to be 7 hours long.
pretty much. I mean, it's been a long time coming. So let's do a little bit of housekeeping. An American Pickle is the best movie I've ever seen.
Get the fuck out of
I mean, next to Norbit, at least.
here. Fuck off, dude.
Let's do recently watched. What have you guys recently watched?
Pickle Rick.
Oh shit, that's a good one.
I don't even know, dude. Like, recently watched. I went to go see Tenet.
Ooh, the Nolan movie. Okay.
No, it's a David Lynch version.
Oh, I wish.
But it was good. It was it's literally like the most confusing thing I've ever watched in my life.
Oh, sweet.
So that's cool. If you're into that, but I loved it. It's like, it's just a straight up masterpiece. Like, he killed it. Like, it's just like one of those movies where it's like I don't mind. I'm super into like movies where I'm leaving it like super confused and I want like so many more answers. Which I was okay with that. Like, I kind of went into it kind of thinking that that's like what was going to happen. And it did.
It served the purpose. Okay.
But yeah, dude, it's amazing. It's definitely worth the hype.
Was it worth risking your life going to a theater?
Honestly, yeah. I want to die every day, so I don't really care at this point.
So, Blake, what have you recently watched?
I watched The Babysitter 2 on Netflix.
Oh, I just watched The Babysitter yesterday.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I like both those movies. The second one's a little bit more ridiculous, but it was still like pretty fun. It's an awful movie, but like
I
in a
gave
good
it
way.
3.5 stars.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't even know that had a second one.
It just came out.
Oh, okay. Shit.
It was
Oh, Killer Queen. Okay, bro.
the
Yeah,
gore
it
was
was
pretty good in it.
Machine
like
Gun
the
Kelly?
gore.
Oh, shit.
Machine Gun Kelly?
Machine Gun Kelly directed this?
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, no. let me tell you what my September has been like. I started the month with 13 Sins, which was surprisingly decent. Blake, I feel like maybe you've seen that movie, or I don't
That
know.
name is
Have you?
familiar, but I don't think I've seen it.
That was fun. It was pretty cute. The People versus Larry Flint, which was a crazy biopic. I watched a Three Stooges biopic, which was god awful. I did actually watch An American Pickle, and I kept quoting Pickle
Cringe.
Rick the entire time.
Wow, dude, that's cool.
And of course, how can we forget Norbit?
Yeah,
We all fucking watch Norbit,
5
I
stars.
still haven't seen it.
bro. We'll do an encore.
Honestly,
don't worry.
you're kicked off.
Yeah, yeah. Blake and I talked, and you're just off the show.
And we're rebranding as the Norbit cast.
We honestly might as well at this point.
You guys talk about Norbit so much, and you send so many memes that I'm like, I
It's
love that part.
It's literally all we talk about.
I love that part
true.
when like that happens.
It's true.
Oh yeah, with the Rasputia. Okay, that's enough housekeeping. Let's just get into it.
Oh,
So,
boy.
like I said, it's been a while, and it's our 50th episode, which we figure we would do something a skosh bit special, right, Joey? As you fix your mane.
My
Hell yeah.
bangs.
Hell
You
yeah,
like my bangs?
I like your bangs. So we're just gonna rattle off our top 50 movies.
What? Just
But
gonna
how?
rattle them off.
But how exactly do we want to do this? Do
We're
we
gonna
wanna
try.
Go
We're
from
gonna
50
all
to-
try and
with
say them
50
as
to
fast
1.
as we can at the same time.
Yeah, let's all say
There you
that
go.
one. Jake Hall, the 400 blows. Good film.
We're gonna do that. Just end the episode.
So,
the
Honestly, kind of hot.
so yeah, I obviously became very well prepared for this. So, how exactly do we want to rattle this off?
Do we want to start at the bottom? I didn't really like rank mine.
Yeah, I loosely ranked mine. I would say
Yeah,
it's
like my
definitive.
top 5 are pretty much ranked, but everything else it's just like whatever I thought fit.
Relax, bro.
Okay. Well, I guess
I don't want to go first.
I guess we could do one by one, and when it's a significant movie, we could stop and talk about it.
All right.
Significant.
Significant. So my 50th movie is a kung fu flick called Jade Claw, and the only reason I really have it on my list is because it's one of those movies where it doesn't really deserve to be on anybody's list, but I grew up watching a lot of kung fu with my father, and it just kind of grew on me. I believe that stars Billy Chong, and came out sometime in the 70s, I believe. The DVD is a lot of money for some reason, but other than that, there's really cool scenes like when the guy pretends to pee on his master in a barrel, and the part where they fight with fists. That was really cool.
Nice.
So, yeah, I guess that's it for Jade Claw.
Cool, bro.
Let's probe Joe for his movie.
I'm all over the place.
Okay, how about we each read 10 at a time? Does that work?
Okay, you go first.
All right. Next one, I have The Silence of the Lambs.
Nice.
Bad.
That should
Pure-
really be on mine too.
Purely just to stare at Jodie Foster.
You're sick, you know?
Yes. Mildred Pierce is my next one, which is a neat little film noir starring Joan Crawford, which is pretty fucking cool. Got the Criterion of it. Actually, where is it? I don't have it. Okay. So next one is the hit comedy that's family friendly and aged very well, Blazing Saddles. God, I love logging into Twitter every 6 months, seeing cancel Blazing Saddles. That's really cool. Oh my God, what was Mel Brooks thinking? Next one on my list is The 39 Steps, which is a very untalked about Alfred Hitchcock movie. I believe that's when he was still doing his British filmography.
Yes,
That is
bad.
Yo, okay, that's kind of your opinion.
Kidding.
I don't know why this is so far down the list, but the next one is Reanimator. That should definitely be way further up, but since we're not really doing an order, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, mine aren't in order.
And I'm such a psycho that I'm probably going to record a Reanimator episode for October anyway, so
Hey,
Sick invite.
I've probably talked about it way too many times anyway. So the next one I have is Marty with Ernest Borgnine.
Marty.
Who I think he won at least one Oscar, but I think the movie was nominated for a bunch. And it's just like it's a movie about me basically. It's like my life. You know, it's like a fat schmuck just trying to get with a girl.
Me every day.
For real. But that was a really good movie. Next one I have is Blow with Johnny Depp,
He
which
beats women.
actually not entirely true. I really liked it.
Kidding.
I've actually seen this movie a lot. I remember always watching it with my dad, and that's a good nostril shot. Can we zoom in on that? I remember seeing this with my dad a lot, and it just fucking grew on me like crazy. And I remember thinking like, "There's no way this is real." And then I've seen interviews with George Young. I'm like, "Wow, he's pretty much a fucking psycho." Cocaine's really cool. Then I
Yeah.
have Back to the Future, which is a pretty okay film. I think that Crispin Glover needs to man the fuck up and start acting again.
True.
Dude, he's a fucking crybaby.
6. And the next movie I have is Monty Python and the Holy Grail,
Bad.
which, as my letterbox review dictates, comedy. And that's that.
Good.
Not much else I could say about that one, but all right. So that's the first 10 from me. Who would like to go next?
Blake, do you want to go?
Sure, I'll go.
Oh, he's shy.
So I'm just all right. So let's see. My first 10, I got Killer Clowns from Outer Space,
Hell yeah.
which I love very much.
Hell yeah.
It's
the Blob, but cool.
Yeah, I mean the Blob could be on here too, but if I had to pick between the two, I just love Killer Clowns.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I got Pinocchio because I wanted to have at least one Disney animated movie on here, and that's my favorite.
Fuck yeah.
Then I got House of a Thousand Corpses, which I love. I got The Exorcist and Rosemary's Baby right next to each other.
Hey yo,
spooky, scary.
Yeah,
dude, I watched both of
pretty
those.
much
for
all
the
of this
first
list is
time.
horror movies.
I watched both of those for the first time during quarantine on the same night.
It's a pretty good double feature.
That's an interesting double feature. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. See that at the drive-in in a few weeks.
Nice.
Spice.
Bad. I got both The Lighthouse and The Witch. I got It Follows.
Yeah.
I got The Lord of the Rings. I only added one Lord of the Rings movie because I just count the trilogy as like one movie pretty much.
Oh yeah.
So I just have Return of the King. And then I have Trick or Treat.
Ooh, I saw that for the first time
Seasonal.
last year.
Never seen it.
It's a good movie. I have the little Sam character. I bought a life-size version of him at Spirit Halloween, and it's in my window.
He's my favorite.
So sick.
Fuck
Epic.
yeah.
That's my first 10.
That's cool.
Mostly horror movies.
Hell
Wait,
yeah.
can you guys see me if I exit out?
It's
No.
just you. It's technically still you, but not live.
Oh. Okay. I'll name a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. All right. So I got Mallrats.
Right.
By Kevin Smith.
Kevin Spacey.
I got The Darjeeling Limited by Wes Anderson.
Film.
I got Come and See.
Oh, I still have to see that.
It's
I haven't
insane.
seen that either.
Very sad. I have Dog Day Afternoon.
Ooh, the 45th anniversary is today of that movie.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah, Sidney Lumet is a fucking god.
Let's see. I got Before Sunrise.
Right.
500 Days of Summer.
Good movie.
Oh, that's a kink movie. Okay.
Wolf of Wall Street.
That's a good one.
The Breakfast Club. Jojo Rabbit. Chasing Amy. And Goodfellas.
Nice. Goodfellas is on mine too.
That's cinema. Yeah, me too.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, also all pretty bad.
Yeah, all the movies that I have on here are like, well, for the most part, are pretty modern.
Nothing wrong with
I
that,
don't know.
baby.
I'm
Yeah.
quirky, you know?
I feel like the list will reflect our personalities, so it's
Yeah,
okay,
mine
Joey.
definitely.
It's okay, Joey, baby.
Okay.
So to jump into my next 10, I have the Philadelphia Story. You know, a funny little rom-com from the 40s.
Yikes.
Jimmy Stewart, Cary Grant, what up? Then I have the illustrious Pulp Fiction,
That's on mine too.
aka the Fruit movie.
Classic.
It
Oh
is
my god,
classic.
did I not put a Tarantino movie on here?
Oh shit, you were a
I
fake
have
fan.
I have 4 Tarantino movies on mine.
Oh my
Holy
god,
fuck.
I didn't. I didn't. Oh my god, I'm changing it now.
Are they all Jackie Brown?
It's just
Oh,
Jackie Brown. I got Pulp Fiction, Django, Inglourious Bastards, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh my
Okay.
god, dang it. I'm changing it. I'm deleting the whole list.
There's nothing wrong with that. I have Francois Truffaut's The 400 Blows, which is one of my favorite coming of age films. I also have Goodfellas, which the only reason I put it on the list is because of the garlic slicing scene.
Man,
No,
those sure are
actually,
good
also
fellas.
also when Leoto wakes up and he says, "Give me the gun, Karen." That's the only 2 scenes I like.
Those fellas sure are good.
Oh, it looks like I have Monty Python twice on here.
Nice.
So I'm gonna skip that for now. I then have Scarface because I watched that movie religiously when I was younger.
Dude, I honestly would have if I watched it at that age, but like I watched it during quarantine for the first time.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, it's a different
I was
impact
so
when you
upset with myself.
when you watch it older. When you're older, it's definitely a different experience, I think.
Now to get the true experience, you got to play the game.
Oh my god, I'm not gonna lie. When I was younger, I had it for PS2, and I would always just get such a fucking kick out of dealing G's of cocaine to the cartel.
I literally, like, when I was growing up, like, my parents didn't have a lot of money, but I loved video games. So I would get, like, the like, bargain bin games. So I had literally
Hell yeah.
every movie game. I had the Finding Nemo game. I had, like, I had all the Toy Story games. Literally any movie game, I had it. And the best one, Minority Report.
Hell yeah.
Oh, for
Great
the
movie
64.
No, PlayStation 2.
Oh, I had on the. Oh no, I'm thinking of Mission Impossible.
Literally had almost nothing to do with the movie, but it was a lot of fun.
Oh, all those fucking games have nothing to do with the movie.
It was great. If they like re-released Minority Report on PlayStation 4, I'd buy it for $60.
On vinyl?
Yeah, on vinyl, on tape.
On vinyl, baby. Yeah, a lot of people like to give Brian De Palma shit, but I love him as a director.
Why do people give him shit?
I don't know. There's just snobs out there that are like, oh, I don't know. He's kind of a fuck. So, I don't really understand. He gets fucking hate. But anyway, since I have Holy Grail on here twice, I'm gonna include another De Palma film and put Carlito's Way, which is another Pacino film.
That was like during quarantine, which like we always made the joke that I didn't like Al Pacino, but I just like literally like I just never like fell into his movies. Like I wish I did, but like during quarantine I fell into a lot of them. And that was like wait, I don't even know if I watched that one. I don't think I did. Which one's the one where
Pacino, Sean Penn, John Leguizamo?
No, I didn't watch that one. I watched there was another cop movie that he was in.
Serpico.
Yes, I watched Serpico.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, Carlito's Way was the next one, so I'll probably watch that actually this week.
Yeah, some people refer to it as the shitty spiritual successor to Scarface because he plays like an older retired drug dealer who's trying to get out of the game, but he like gets roped back in by his shisty lawyer friend who's played by Sean Penn, which is great because he's like this coked up Jewish lawyer and his on-screen antics are just like fucking insane. But I would definitely recommend that movie.
Oh yeah.
So the next one, actually, I'm not keeping track. 1, 2, 3. Next one I have is The Breakfast Club, like you said, and
they're actually playing that this week at the movies.
Do you mean the cinema, the COVID cinema?
Yeah.
Oh
Dude,
shit.
they actually pump COVID into the auditorium.
Oh, thank God. Is it like in the air conditioning
They
system?
sprinkle it on the popcorn.
Yeah, dude, it's good.
It can't be transferred through the popcorn. Stupid. Yeah, so that's kind of a bad movie.
Yeah.
Go, John Hughes, trash.
John Hughes more like fucking boring news. Am I right? I don't
Coming
know.
of age, more like coming.
Grandma. I don't know. So I also have Dog Day Afternoon, which is the third Pacino film I have on here.
Dude, that movie is just like, I was so blown away watching that during quarantine. Like, I could not fucking believe that was a true story.
Yeah.
Like,
And
that's so ahead of its time. Like, I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, and he's gay? I'm like, let's go, bro.
and he's gay. Fuck.
I'm like, gay Al Pacino? Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah, the Dunkachino. Get it now at thelobster.com. Next one I have. Oh yeah, shout out to John Cassell, who died way too young, and every single one of his 5 movies was nominated for a fucking Oscar.
Hell yeah.
He is a great guy. Next one I have is A Streetcar Named Desire, which is, I believe, my second Brando. Well, one of 2 Brando movies on my list. And I remember when I first saw it, I was thinking, oh, this isn't like anything special. And then I rewatched it. I'm like, this is a magnificent case study of a couple that are just completely realistically in the shitter. It was just like a fantastic perspective on a relationship that's going absolutely nowhere. Even though they're like really close, you just see something's fucked up. And next one I have is The Public Enemy, which stars James Cagney, who's one of my favorite actors. And that's basically like another rise to power movie. I have a lot of those on here. And that was like one of the earliest examples of a gangster film. And it kind of set the template for the rest of the genre. It was like that and Little Caesar and all those movies from like the 30s and 40s.
Hail Caesar?
No, not quite. But yeah, I think that was another 10. So, Blake, if you want to go next.
All right. My next 10, I started with 2 Tim Burton movies. I got Eduardo Scissorhands.
Ooh, Vincent Price's last role.
Yes, I love that movie. I know like it's probably not very good by today's standards, but like
I fucking
when I was
love that
14,
No, I love that movie.
Like the
I
best movie ever.
absolutely, I love that movie so
Yeah,
much.
and Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I still watch pretty religiously. I love that.
Fuck
movie.
yeah, dude. I could
So
fucking
hilarious.
quote that movie every day. Like, I could quote that whole fucking movie.
Yeah, so good. And people don't. I think a lot of people don't even realize it's a Tim Burton movie too.
Yeah, like, it's insane that was like his first movie.
It's
Yeah.
the
like
scariest one.
Yeah.
Then I got 2 Universal movies. I tried to pick my 2 favorite Universal monster movies. So I have Creature from the Black Lagoon and Bride of Frankenstein.
I also have Bride on my list.
Yeah, I didn't want to like jam the list with all of the Universal monster movies, so I tried to just pick 2. And those are my 2 favorites.
Hell yeah, baby.
Then I got some David Fincher movies. I got Fight Club.
Finchy.
Which is like, I don't know what I could say about Fight Club that hasn't already been said.
Yeah, it's kind of tough.
Yeah.
It's bad.
And I also have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which I feel like a lot of people don't really appreciate.
Which
I
one?
love that movie, the David Fincher one.
Oh yeah, dude, that movie is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I love that movie, and I feel like a lot of people kind of overlook it.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah,
it's good. The soundtrack's awesome. The cinematography's really cool.
Yeah.
It's too bad it didn't like do very well box office wise, so he didn't get to make the rest of the trilogy. But I love that movie. And then my the last 4 from this 10 are the Tarantino movies I said before. Django.
Oh, okay, they're all
Pulp
lumped
Fiction,
together.
Inglourious Bastards, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
You know, Django's another one of those that I see a lot of mixed reception on, which is kind of crazy to me. I thought,
I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it, to be honest. Like, I love Django. I thought it was a great film, but maybe it just like didn't connect with me with like as like much it did with like other people. Like, I just thought it was like another like great Tarantino movie, but like so many people pinpoint that one as like out of like his last few films whenever they're talking about his movies.
Yeah, I think it was really cool that Tarantino decided to, because for a while, slavery in this country was very danced around in our textbooks. And I think it was really glad that he created a conversation for a new generation. He gave black people a superhero. He said,
Yeah,
you know, fuck this entire period of history. This is what I'm gonna do. And I thought it was fucking fantastic. And I found out
yeah,
that he consulted Sidney Poitier on the movie, which was cool. He kind of looks up to him as a father figure, and he was asking him his advice, and because obviously Tarantino had a little bit of trepidation trying to go into a universe that involved slavery and these sort of
yeah,
topics, and Poitier was like, dude, fucking do it. Like, this is exactly what we need to see. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really
I mean,
glad
like
he did it.
Django's like basically a uh slavery era John Wick movie. It's just
Yeah.
like a
yeah,
badass revenge movie with like I think it's one of Tarantino's most like action packed movies, and that's why I like it a lot. It's got a lot of
yeah, for
like
sure.
crazy violence and big giant like explosions and stuff. I feel like much more than a lot of his other movies. That's what makes that one like stand out to me personally.
Mhm.
It also has just a lot going on in a good way. He takes all the creative elements he's known for and puts them into this action packed fuck brigade, and it just came out so good. I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, and then I also included Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because I love that movie. I think it's personally I think it's his best movie. I know
Mhm.
not everybody agrees with that, but I would say it's between that and Glorious Bastards for me. And
Yeah, honestly, I'd say the same.
yeah,
Bastards is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So those were my last couple for that 10.
Poo poo pee pee.
Big Joey time.
Poo poo pee pee check. Um, all right, let's see where we're at. All right, so the last one was Goodfellas, so I added a few. But you'll never know.
Come on, Joe. We're doing a podcast.
Okay, the next one is Inglorious Bastards. Paris, Texas.
I still need to see that.
Dude, it's so good. Drive.
Ooh.
Oh, I should have put Drive on mine. I didn't even think of that.
Yo, I'm so upset it took me till quarantine to watch that.
I remember I saw that movie when it came out, and
Same.
like the advertising for it was very strange once you see the movie.
Yeah,
But like I think I've always like loved movies and everything, but I feel like Drive was one of the movies that really got me into like like kind of like non-mainstream movies, I guess is what I would
yeah,
say. Like
Yeah.
when I was
okay.
younger, I wasn't like into movies like I am now, and I didn't like seek out different movies. I would just see whatever like was playing.
Yeah,
And Drive was one of the first ones that made me like really go out of my way to like look up different kinds of movies like that.
faux show, faux show.
Yeah, it definitely just I didn't see half of that shit coming. It
Yeah,
always kept me on my toes.
on your tippy toes.
Good part.
My next ones are Roma,
Oh,
uh,
great movie.
Army Man, La La Land, Ex Machina, 6, 7, The Royal Tenenbaums, Moonlight, and Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Mm-hmm.
I think that La La Land did a really good job at recreating those old MGM musicals in a modern light. And I think
Yeah,
that's probably the closest we're going to get to it unless we have a director in the next 5 or 10 years that's actually passionate about that show tune era, which
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, everything kind of repeats and there might be a renaissance for it, but that it was a good representation of that, I think.
yeah. I don't know. I just thought that film was like really impressive, and I think Damien Chazelle is like one of like the best like young directors working today. Like him and like Barry Jenkins and Ari Aster are like top for me. I
Yeah,
just think they're so good.
great names. Yeah,
So overall, bad movies.
yeah. Movies kind of suck.
Yeah.
Well, overall, poo poo fart shit.
Just name the rest, Joe. It's fine.
All right, I'll name the rest.
No, Joe, don't.
You just
We're gonna ruin
said
the format.
that, right.
Joe,
No.
no. Wait, did you hit 10 already?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you. Okay, so next I have Singing in the Rain, which I think obviously like people talk about that one, but the only thing I'll say about it is I really love the fact that when A Clockwork Orange came out, Gene Kelly was still alive, and because of the use of the song and the surrounding implications during the scene, he like publicly boycotted the film. It
Yeah, I
was
remember
like,
reading that. He was
yeah,
very upset about
he was
that.
like, bro, please don't use my song for this. So that's all I'll say about that. The next one I have is The Abominable Dr. Phibes starring Vincent Price, because that is my favorite Price film, and that is one of my favorite horror films of all time. And I think I've done an episode on it, so I won't get into it much more.
Yeah, shut
So,
up.
okay, cool.
Shut up,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, bro. Next one I have is Hitchcock's Rear Window. I have a bunch of Hitchcock on here because he's my favorite director. And that is a great example of voyeurism at its finest. And of course, Jimmy Stewart, love him.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite Hitchcock movies. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's just the way that Hitchcock, he obviously has a signature style, but every movie is still so specifically different in his signature style that it still keeps it really fucking cool. Then I have The Kid with Charlie Chaplin, because I'm a sucker for bad movies. And then I have another Hitchcock, North by Northwest, starring Cary Grant. And that one is cool because it includes a whole length of things that were not being done at that time. And I also get a kick out of seeing a young Martin Landau trying to force feed whiskey down Cary Grant's throat. And then the fight scene at the end, where they're at the top of Mount Rushmore, I mean, that was fucking amazing. The next one I have is Akira Kurosawa's Throne of Blood,
Hell yeah.
which is not only one of my favorite movies, but one of my favorite retellings of a Shakespeare story, because it retells the story of Macbeth, but in feudal Japan. And I think the way it was done was really fucking cool. And the fact that Toshiro Mifune, who is fucking bae, he's a sexy motherfucker, he literally had arrows shot at him in that movie to actually display his real reactions. I mean, that's the kind of shit I love and respect about those kinds of movies. It's like, Kurosawa, you're a fucking sick fuck, but you got the best reaction out of him by doing that. Next one I have is my all-time favorite Scorsese movie, which is Casino. And a lot of people will argue with me on it. A lot of people won't say they hate it, but they'll say, "Oh, come on, bro, Scorsese's got something like Goodfellas." It's like, yeah, but I don't know. To me, Scorsese in general is a genius at storytelling. It's very hard to dispute that. I feel like even if you don't like his movies, you sort of have to respect the cohesive flow of his storytelling. Like, his structure is based in logic and reasoning and darkness. And I think with Casino, the fact that you have De Niro as Sam Rothstein and Pesci as Nicky, and they've always had this clashing chemistry, and then you throw even more wood into the fire with all the theft and all the adultery, and it just creates such a great fucking mess of cinema.
Yeah, I remember when we did the episode about like movies we thought we should be in Criterion, we talked about Casino a little bit.
Yeah,
And we said it's like basically like the peak of Scorsese's like big gangster epics with De Niro and Pesci. So it's like you said, not a lot of people really appreciate it because I think they automatically will go to like Goodfellas or one of those kind of movies. But it definitely is like the amalgamation of like everything Scorsese was trying to do with all of his previous films. I feel all of his previous like gangster films, at least.
Yeah, I think it works so well. There's something there for everybody.
It's even got Joe Bob Briggs in it.
It's true. It's got Joe Bob Briggs and an old Don Rickles.
Yes.
Don Ricky's.
So the last two I have are Chungking Express by Wong Kar-wai.
Yeah.
Which is just fantastic as far as Hong Kong cinema goes, or just movies in general. That's like one of those dark descents into our own internal psyches and trying to forge relationships with people, but being too insecure about it to let our guards down. And everything about it is just so fucking good. I couldn't recommend it enough. And I know we're supposed to get a whole bunch of restored Wong Kar-wai films through Criterion, presumably through a box set. But I think they want to screen the 4K restorations on the big screen first, which, as we know, the world is dying, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, and I think California Dreamin', the song featured in that movie was stuck in my head for like a solid 2 weeks. Yeah, but the last one in my next 10 is another Hitchcock, which is Rope, which we also talked about in the Criterion episode.
Yeah.
Which, again, a fantastic movie. Hitchcock at the time was doing ridiculous things. That movie was in 1948, and he was doing continuous shots. He wasn't letting go of that camera, and I think that's really cool because you have people in the past who sort of attempted that, like Orson Welles with Citizen Kane. He wasn't directly going for continuous shots, but at the same time, that and The Magnificent Ambersons, it kind of mocked that because it kind of builds tension when you see the camera not going anywhere. You're kind of like, I'm just fucking unsettled right now. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I think with Rope, it achieves that tension perfectly. And I mean, not to mention the fact that there's quite literally a dead body sitting in the trunk while people are having a party. So I, again, would absolutely recommend that one to anyone. So, yeah, bad movies. Yeah.
So overall, you don't like good movies.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm just waiting to talk about Norbit.
Yeah. Well, that's number one. So
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. So what you got, Blake?
I have Goodfellas we already talked about. I also have Taxi Driver, another Scorsese movie, obviously.
Hell yeah.
Again, there's not much I could say about Taxi Driver that hasn't already been said. Then I also have The Departed, which is another one of my favorites.
Love The Departed.
Again, Scorsese. I don't know what else I could add to a conversation about The Departed because it's just a great movie. I have both The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2. These honestly could, again, if I was ranking it, I'd probably rank these much higher because, like, I think personally, I think they're two of like the greatest movies ever made. I don't think anything even comes close. And I know that's not like a unusual opinion, but it's true.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Then I have a bunch of my comedies in here. Two of my favorite like double features. I have The Naked Gun and Airplane, which are just, I think, two of the funniest movies ever.
Love Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah. And then I also have Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore, another favorite double feature.
God.
Yeah.
That's a good list.
Yeah. And then the last one is Uncut Gems. So another Adam Sandler.
Oh, Kino.
Yeah. Uncut Gems. I know it's like you have like recency bias making lists sometimes, but that like, as soon as I saw it, I knew it was instantly like a top 50, if not, top 25 forever for me.
Oh hell yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and those, I think that, those are my 10.
Hell yeah, bro.
All bad.
Movies make me tired. I want to take a nap. Mommy. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel.
Oh hello.
All right, let's go down this list, motherfucker. Number 29, Garden State, starring Zach Braff. Number 28, Halloween by John Carpenter.
I have that on my list too.
Um,
I actually have 5 Halloween movies on my list.
Oh
Oh
my-
shit.
number
We'll get
20
to it.
is Suspiria,
Which one?
the newest one.
Is that your Suspiria witch laugh?
Here come the haters. Next is Hereditary.
hell
then
yeah.
we got a little Punch Drunk Love. Call Me by Your Name, gay.
Not wrong.
The Goonies. Richard Donner. We got a little Parasite, number 22.
Oh hell yeah.
21 is Her by Spike Jones. And number 20 is Uncut Gems.
Ooh. Thematically on point, am I right?
Yep.
I tried to. Well, I didn't really rank them, but I ranked them in
Yeah.
a way, I guess. I did, like, honestly, out of. Okay, yes, I did rank them. I won't lie. I'll say it.
So you could be honest with us. Come on.
I ranked these films.
If not your friends, then who else?
I ranked them. I'll say it.
I like it. I dig it.
But yeah, I don't know. I just get so nervous talking about movies.
I know. It's okay. Pets Joe through computer, am I right?
You're
All right,
not
settle
wearing a
down.
mask. Don't touch me.
Oh fuck, you're right. Sorry.
COVID-19. You should
Fiends.
have wore. We all should have worn masks.
Yeah, bro. It would have been really funny and topical and relatable. Let's do it right now. Joe, get me one.
Yeah, Joe, can you stop trying to violate my constitutional rights on the podcast, please?
Bro,
I'm
I
kidding.
swear to God,
please don't kill
if I
me.
have to wear my mask one more time, I ain't wearing it.
Bro, I put it on, I can't breathe.
Dude, I can't fucking breathe. Dude, as
So
soon as
my next one.
dude, whenever I talk to someone, I gotta lower the mask because I just can't hear them.
There's gonna be a lot of good facial clips from Joe on this one.
Yes.
A lot of good facials on Joe. Anyway, so
I
am I
mean,
right? Am I right? Cum joke. So
it's offensive.
so next one I have is A Night at the Opera, which is a Marx Brothers movie. Pure comedy.
We're in the top 20 now, right?
Pure comedy. Next I have Bride of Frankenstein,
Noish.
which it's looking at the history of sequels. You awake, Joe? It's definitely one of the best sequels out there, and I know that there are some good ones, but I feel like James Whale took everything good about Frankenstein and said, "Okay, times 1,000 now."
Yeah, I would
And-
honestly say that more people know Bride of Frankenstein than Frankenstein and might not even realize it because just like a lot of the most like iconic images of Frankenstein come from Bride, not from the first one.
Oh
really?
yeah. Just like, and I love all the small details in the movie, like the fact that Frankenstein's got like his clothes ripped up and his gashes from the fire of the first one, and
Yeah,
just
the
like those.
stupid idiot tattoo I have of him from that movie.
Ooh, yeah, cinema. Oh my god,
Idiot.
kiss the tat, baby. Yeah, so I think that definitely just it lives in horror greatness forever.
Yeah.
Next one I have is It's a Wonderful Life because I'm a slut for Jimmy Stewart. And basically, so we watched Click tonight in a watch party with everyone. pretty much click. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
But less suicidal tendencies. Next
The
one I
band.
have is Kurosawa's Rashomon, which I thought hard about this because I wanted to put Ikaru on here, and I was gonna put it where Rashomon is, but I think at the end of the day, Rashomon sat a little bit better with me, and it's crazy because I say Rashomon to people, and half the people have heard about the movie. Half the people are like, "What the fuck is Rashomon?" But its impact on the film industry in general or TV through the Rashomon effect, which is when people are trying to recount their version of a story and you can't find out what the truth really is. I mean, think about the last show or movie you watched. It was probably in there.
Yeah.
And
I'm pretty sure every sitcom that's ever existed
oh,
has an episode.
oh
of
yeah,
that.
every sitcom. I mean, like Seinfeld has had 20 episodes based on
Yeah.
the Rashomon effect. So it's crazy that and that goes further for Kurosawa's work. Like there would be no Star Wars without the Hidden Fortress. Like there would be no Fantastic Spaghetti Westerns without Seven Samurai.
Mhm.
So it's pretty astounding to see his impact on the industry. But Rashomon's fucking great. I do have the Criterion. I wank with it every night. It's pretty cool. Next, I have Uncut Gems, starring Daddy Sandler.
Adam.
Pretty cool when Joe and I went to the premiere and Kevin Garnett literally had to duck to say hi to all the interviewers.
Dude,
It was
we're,
pretty
I
back,
fucking
literally-
funny.
we're back to talking about the Uncut Gems premiere.
Oh, hell yeah. I can't go 5 seconds without talking about it. Mark off your bingo cards.
It's actually in your contract with the podcast that you have to mention it.
It is. I can't not talk about it. Bro, I don't know. It was just
So
kinda
yeah, the
cool.
Uncut Gems premiere.
Pretty fucking sweet, Lois.
Cool.
Anyway, so yeah, we've already talked that movie to death. Next one, Hereditary, which I still tell people how impressed I am with how good of a modern horror movie it is.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
in my top 5.
because there's such a low barrier entry point for horror these days. It's so refreshing to see one that just transcends any of my expectations.
Yeah, yeah.
I-
Hereditary was like one of the rare movies that, like, for me, someone who watches primarily horror movies, like I don't really find them scary anymore. And Hereditary like haunted me after I saw it. It
Yeah.
was
Oh yeah, for sure.
for
Absolutely.
so long.
Yeah. I mean, just in the first 20 minutes, I was like, this is the fucking movie. I can't even. What's gonna happen next? What the fuck?
Yeah, it was just, and I think they actually did a really good job of like marketing that movie because I went into it and got something completely different than what I expected in like, the best way.
Uh-huh.
I agree.
Yeah, Hereditary is definitely one that like will be remembered forever. I compare it to The Exorcist just because that's one of the like big benchmark horror movies. I think that it'll be remembered as like this era of horror's Exorcist, pretty much.
I
I
think
agree.
so. I think that would be pretty reasonable to assume.
Mhm.
And I was gonna put Midsummer on here as well, but there was just maybe if there was like 51 movies in the list, I would have put it, but it just fell a
Yeah,
little bit
we
short.
at the end we should do honorable mentions because there's a lot that I'm thinking of just like as we're talking about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Next one I have is Fritz Lang's M, which I mean, as many times as I watch that movie, it still blows me the fuck away. I mean, first of all, this was Fritz Lang's first talking movie. I mean, the man built a career off of silent films that was already renowned. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to get into talkies, as the kids call them these days. And I'm going to recruit a young Peter Lorre, who obviously for horror fans, you know the name, but at the time in America, he wasn't really known. And then he makes M and he becomes a household name overnight. And the fact that Peter Lorre was able to play a child murderer in such a way that it was obviously coldly calculated, but towards the end, when the town holds the kangaroo court against him, you almost start to understand why he might be so mentally ill. And that's scary. Like when you have that relatability to a character who's supposed to be so chaotically evil, I think that Fritz Lang and Peter Lorre together brought that vision to life so clearly. And the amount of tension and drama in it was just unparalleled. So that should definitely be higher on my list. I mean, I know we're not ranking them, but that would
Except for
definitely
me.
be yeah, that's definitely in like my top 5.
Yeah, and I remember when we had talked about it on a previous episode too, we were saying like for it to be his first like talking movie, the sound design in it is so like it feels so modern,
Yeah.
like despite how old it is, that it's like super impressive in the context of being like one of his first talking movies.
Hell yeah. Fritz, baby. If you can hear me from beyond, I
Baby
love you.
Fritz.
Baby Fritz. Next one is another Chaplin film, which is City Lights, which obviously goes without saying. Chaplin was such an inspiration to me because he did it all. He was a complete workaholic. He didn't just act in his films, he directed them, he produced them, he composed the entire soundtrack, he did the casting. And most of the time, you would expect somebody's vision to fall flat if they're just the jack of all trades. But Chaplin somehow managed to do it all and more. So, City Lights, I mean, I've basically burnt the Criterion disc into the tray of my player because of how often I watch it. It's just fucking beautiful. Next one I have is almost obligatory for my list, which is Casablanca. I really love the movie. I know a lot of people say it's like next to The Godfather, they say it's the greatest movie of all time. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that Casablanca played an important part in the template of those old Hollywood melodramas. Another note I have is that Peter Lorre should have been in it for way longer. I was actually upset the first time I watched it. They advertise it as what Humphrey Bogart and then Peter Lorre is in it as well. And I was upset that he wasn't in it for longer. But I think that that movie is just a great example of, bro, love and life suck, but you try to make the best of it. And if it means seeing the person you love go off with someone else, potentially, obviously, then just let it fucking happen. But uh, it gets me. I like that movie a lot. The next one in my 10, actually the last one in my 10 is Sunset Boulevard, which I would almost consider a low-key horror film.
Yeah.
I
It definitely had a huge influence on horror movies.
Yeah, I think that you have these like crazy antics of a silent star who's not remembered anymore. And fucking Gloria Swanson did such a convincing job that I could honestly believe she's this sadistically crazy cunt. Like she did that's like a real testament to an actor or actress. Like if you really believe they are that cynical of a person, it's like, and a lot of people would say that if an actor like got stopped on the street, they get shit talked, like, oh fuck you in that show or movie, and that has happened to people like Gloria Swanson, and I think that's so great. I love that, and I also love at the end Cecil B. DeMille's cameo. I think that that was great, and yeah, but Billy Wilder in general is just one of my favorite directors anyway. He did Double Indemnity, which is one of my favorite noirs. Some Like It Hot, which is fantastic. The Apartment, amazing. So yeah, I definitely needed that on my list. But I think that might be it for mine for now.
Damn, bro, you like movies.
A little bit, but they suck at the same time. Bro, no, don't fall asleep.
Who's next? Me?
I think so.
Okay.
Uh,
So I have controversial pick of Joker for my number 20.
oh,
Again, it's like kind of like a recency bias thing, but I do love that movie. I thought it was really cool. Like
Yeah.
that interpretation of the character, I thought was pretty interesting and
Oh yeah,
a little
absolutely.
bit different from typical superhero movie thing
You ain't
going
gotta
on right now.
convince me, ho.
Yeah, so I like Joker. I know it's become kind of controversial. I also have Doctor Sleep on here, which again another recent one, but like I just like I think Mike Flanagan is like one of the best directors out there right now for horror movies, and not a lot of people even really know who he is. Like
Yeah.
pretty much nobody saw this movie because nobody knew what the hell it was pretty much.
Yeah.
And I kind of like it kind of sucks because I feel like even though it's a shitty title, if they had just like called it The Shining 2 or like The Shining Doctor Sleep or something, I feel like it would have made so much more money and
Yeah.
so many
Yeah.
people would have seen
It was a victim of its own marketing.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're a fan of The Shining or Stephen King and the book or whatever, then it was like incredible. I think anybody who did see it did like it a lot,
Yeah.
and
I
it was
agree.
one of my favorites.
Also, if you're a fan of Mike Flanagan and Stephen King, I recommend Gerald's Game.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was actually a really good movie.
Yeah. Next one I have is Mandy, which was a great movie.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Oh, my
so
god.
good.
Yeah. Again, that was one like it's kind of funny if you look at my Letterboxd reviews of that. I think I have it logged 3 times, and the first time I saw it, I didn't really like get it, and I didn't like it that much. I think I gave it 3 stars,
Mhm.
and every time I watched it since then, I think I added another star until it was just at 5 stars. So
Yeah.
it's definitely
brilliant.
a movie that benefits from being rewatched because the first time you watch it, you're definitely gonna be at least a little bit confused. I definitely was.
I mean, I stand the Cheddar Goblin either way.
So good.
And the next 5 on here are all Halloween movies of all different eras. And
Okay.
yeah, I have the original Halloween. I have the 2018 Halloween.
Damn.
I have Rob Zombie's Halloween, which is another controversial one. I know a lot of people don't like that movie. I have Halloween 2, not the Rob Zombie version, the first sequel.
Right.
And then I have Halloween 3, which is the one that Michael Myers is not in, which another fairly controversial one.
Season of the bitch.
Tom Atkins appreciation, baby.
Yeah.
I love Season of the Witch.
Yeah, obviously, as you can tell, I just love Halloween movies. I love Michael Myers.
Are you
I love,
spooky?
I'm pretty like spooky.
Leaves are falling out of his ass as we speak. Right.
Yeah, so I love all those movies. And
Oh yeah.
I know not a lot of people like the Rob Zombie one, and
I like the first one a lot.
yeah, that's the one I have on here. I didn't like his second Halloween. His
Yeah, me either.
Halloween 2 I wasn't a fan of, but the first one I think I'm like a little bit biased because it came out when I was like a teenager, I think, and
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
super into horror movies at the time, but I remember seeing it in theaters and really, really liking it, and it kind of like got the ball rolling on me like watching the original and like getting into the other Michael Myers movies. So
Yeah.
I kind of
That was the first rated R movie I ever saw in theaters.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
I
Mine
saw
was
with
Watchmen, and I had to sneak in.
Wait, was it Watchmen? Then I guess it might have been Watchmen. I don't remember, but I remember because I went to the midnight premiere of Watchmen.
Let's see, when did Watchmen come out?
So I guess that was probably before that. But I remember my dad brought me to go see Halloween too. The first, well, I mean, he went to go bring me to see the Rob Zombie's Halloween, and I was
Rob Zombie Halloween came out first, so
yeah, dude, I was
Watchmen's
scarred. by that.
2009.
I was like really scarred from that movie.
It's a pretty disturbing movie. I mean, now
Yeah.
that I like know Rob Zombie's filmography, it fits in pretty well. But like, if that's the only one you've seen, it's a pretty
Yeah,
and especially
And you're
because like
like-
the original Halloween is not a super gory movie or anything, and
No.
Right.
Rob Zombie's is.
Yeah. It fits well into his universe.
Yeah. And then the other 2 I have on this 10 is Friday the 13th Part 3 and 4. Because I had to have some Jason movies on here because I love Jason too.
Jason Voorhees.
Jason?
He's so cute.
Yeah. And personally, Part 4, the final chapter, is my favorite of all of the Friday movies. So, yeah, Jason pretty good.
I liked. I don't know why I had like a weird obsession with Freddy versus Jason when I was growing up.
Freddy versus Jason is a great movie. I rewatched it recently, and I do like that movie a lot.
I think it's a lot of fun and like
Yeah,
feels
yeah, it's fun.
it fits into like the kind of like Scream like campiness.
Yeah, it's a very like 2000s slasher movie.
Yeah, and it's very self-aware though.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh, yeah.
also Friday the 13th Part 4, which I was saying was my favorite, is also the one that Crispin Glover is in, and that's pretty great.
Oh, that's pure Kino.
Yeah.
What
So
the
that
fuck
was
is
my next
Kino?
Cinema.
Bro, I'm not Kino.
Lobster.com.
I don't know if I'm really Kino.
You are, trust me.
I'm more like Speedo.
Beano.
I'm shaving my head live on camera.
Please shake it up.
All right. Am I next, I guess?
Yes.
Okay. Sam fucking hates me.
Kind of.
All right. Cool. All right, let's see what I got next. I got Antichrist.
Oh, shit.
No,
Good
I'm
family
kidding.
film.
That's a choice.
I'm kidding. Got next is Interstellar. Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, nice.
I should have had that on mine too.
Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby.
For
We got Midsommar.
Hell yeah.
2001: A Space Odyssey. Poo-poo. Francis Ha. Portrait of a Lady on Fire.
I still need to see that.
Yeah, I know it's on Hulu. I gotta watch
Yeah.
it.
I should just do that.
I love period pieces. Then we got The Departed. Ferris
Damash.
The Departed.
Damash. The body in the
Bueller.
mash.
Body in the mash. Dude.
When
that
I tell
shit's
you
back.
to dump a body in the mash.
You dump a body in the mash.
And we just lost all of our listeners in Boston.
Oh, you imply they were still listening.
You implied there were listeners.
Right. Oh, it's good.
This one is Ferris
Mhm.
Bueller's Day Off. And
Oh,
I'll leave
shit.
the
You
rest
know,
for the
I should
top
have had that
10.
on my list.
Yeah, so I'll just leave the rest for top 10.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Joey.
Joby.
Actually, so I guess I fucked up somewhere because I have a top 11 for the last picks.
Wow, dude. Good job.
I kind of suck at movies.
Good
So
job.
so the next one I have is The Passion of Joan of Arc, which I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
I have
Yeah.
But that is a 1929 silent film, and it is amazing to see the range of emotions that Renee Falconetti showed without even speaking. Like, her eyes just said it all, and it was like really fucking dramatic and heartbreaking, and definitely cinema. Next, I have obligatory Godfather, because
have to.
I think, like, I don't think that that's a number one movie, but I do think that it should be recognized.
Yeah,
as
it's
a
hard to
top
make
pick.
a list like this and not include The
Yeah,
Godfather. Like,
exactly.
every time I watch it or every time I rewatch it, it's like I'm just reminded of how incredible it is. Both of the first two movies.
Bro,
Yeah.
it's so bad.
Next one, though, which I do favor as far as Brando's filmography goes, which is On the Waterfront.
That one I would have put that one in mine if I had remembered, because I love that movie.
I think that a lot of people hear Brando and they think A Streetcar Named Desire or The Godfather, but On the Waterfront seems to be missing from the conversation a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's silly, because what Ilya Kazan did in that movie and what Brando did in that movie was just nothing short of fucking amazing. It was just a story about standing up for yourself. We all know we have failures. We all know we have shitty past. It's about getting past that.
me.
Oh, Joe, stop it.
I'm
And
kidding.
it's
I'm
about
sad.
it's about getting past that and saying, yo, fuck you, bro. I'm gonna fight the shit out of you.
I'm gonna eat your ass.
I'm gonna eat your ass on camera. It's gonna be really cool. And it was really fucking good. I loved every second of it. I've seen it probably like 5 times. And it's kind of my kink. Next one I have is 12 Angry Men, which again is one of those movies where
The remake?
it's no. It's obviously in the conversation, but I think that a lot of movies, a lot of courtroom dramas, they tend to tell it from the perspective of the lawyers and the litigation process and all
Yeah.
that. But a lot of movies weren't telling it from behind the scenes, the jury deciding on a verdict. And I think that was really cool to me. And the fact that everyone was basically dead set on a guilty verdict, and Henry Fonda's character was like, no, we should probably think about this. And as time goes on, the air conditioning breaks and everyone's just fucking irate and they're at each other's throats. And I think between Fonda and Jack Warden and all the other character actors in that movie, it was amazing.
That
There's
movie,
not much
dude,
more.
I watched that for the first time during quarantine, and I was just like blown away. It was just
Yeah.
so fucking.
It's a confirmation that, you know, as good of an actor as you can be, or as good of a director that's helming the production, it's really the writing that
Yeah.
ties it all together. If you don't have strong writing, and that's a movie that is all dialogue. That is
Yeah.
100% dialogue. So
Like I thought it was gonna be super boring.
yeah, it's one of those things where if you're young and you see it on TV at like 8 o'clock at night, it looks boring as fuck. But if you understand what's going on, how somebody's life is on the line, and Henry Fonda is literally saying, no, we can't just say guilty because we want to get out of here. I think that's like really important. And it was really cool. So
Yeah. You know, it's pretty cool. My sister's in law school right now, and she's taking a class that's called like law in film or something. It's like
oh, cool.
credit class or whatever. And
Yeah.
yeah, she has to watch that. She's watching My Cousin Vinny. It's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
it's crazy that lawyers unanimously cite My Cousin Vinny as factual accounts of the law.
People say it's like the most accurate courtroom movie.
It's actually pretty crazy because it's such, that should be somewhere on here, but
yeah,
it's
yeah. I just thought it was cool, like that movies like that are like taught in law school.
Yeah, I think that's important. I think it shows like they all did a good job at their research, and it's great.
It's bad.
So next one I have is another Marx Brothers movie, which is Duck Soup, which is just it's hard for me to elaborate on why I love it. It's just the comedic timing. The jokes for 1933 were insane. Like they weren't overtly raunchy in the way you would see them in a comedy like Superbad or The Good Boys or whatever you want to equate it to. But what Groucho was saying back then was so fucked up, but so funny. And it's crazy that they were able to get past the censors with half the shit they said. And I think that all of them involved, obviously all the Marx Brothers, Leo McCarey, who did that, and The Awful Truth, and Make Way for Tomorrow, all fantastic movies. I think that it just all came together in a way where you didn't expect someone like Leo McCarey to execute a comedy in that way, but obviously it's the Marx Brothers, so it's hard to refute that. At least, rather, it was the Marx Brothers in the Paramount days. Let me elaborate. But either way, love them, love that. I also love Joe. He's cool. So next one I have is Latro, which I believe translates to the hole in French.
Nice.
Which is kind of cool. So that one's interesting because my good friend George, we were talking, I believe it was 2 or 3 years ago, And a lot of people recommend me movies, and it's hard because I already have a watch list that's tremendous. So when people keep recommending things, they kind of just fall to the wayside, and I keep them on the back burner. But for some reason, something was telling me to watch this one. And basically, imagine any tense thriller you've ever seen. Throw that out the window, because this is the most tense fucking film I've ever seen. And that's obviously, like, we've all collectively watched a lot. So that's saying something.
Mhm.
But what Jack Becker, the director, managed to do, he basically wouldn't. So for most movies, there's a lot of exposition that leads to a certain course of action, and then they quick cut to the next scene. So in this, it's a prison break movie. So in this one, when they're showing the shots of them actively trying to break from the prison, they don't just show a shot of a little bit of digging and then they do a quick cut and then they transition into the next scene where the hole's dug. They literally show you that hole being dug for minutes straight. And so most people equate that to just lazy storytelling or this is boring, but that's what I want to see. That to me, it's real. Like, that's obviously, you're not just going to break from a prison in no time. So the fact that they take the time to show you the process, to show you, and the fact that the guards are circling the block and they have to worry about that, and then it makes the viewer feel super fucking tense. The only thing that's ever come close to that for me is watching a Safdie movie. but Latrobe, like,
Hefty boy.
if you're a fan of Safdie or if you're a fan of thrillers or whatever, definitely watch Latrobe, because it is, I don't have words for it. It is so fucking brilliant.
Do you have emojis?
I don't have emojis. I should make an emoji for it though.
Well, then what the fuck are you living for, bro?
Cinema.
Emojis.
Next one on my list is Parasite, because obligatory. I think that, yeah, what else do you say about it? It was fucking
I was thinking
amazing.
about putting it on my list, but I've still only watched it once, and I felt like I couldn't put a movie on this list that I only saw once, so I got to watch it a couple more times.
That's fair. Yeah, I've seen it twice, but it's just Bonga's daddy. No, and I think that a lot of people kind of have this misconception. Oh, it won all these awards. It's new. It'll phase out. People are just putting it in their top list, whatever. But it was just, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite Best Picture winner in a couple of years.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's usually whatever. Like, I'll love a lot of the movies that are nominated, but what wins is usually not my pick. In this case, it was my pick.
Oh yeah, it was fantastic. Joe hated it though, which is weird.
Yeah, I did not.
So my next four are all old movies, which is a really big fucking shocker. So the
You like old movies?
movies kind of suck. The fourth one I have is Yankee Doodle Dandy, which was a James Cagney film, which was a biopic about George M. Cohan, who was one of the biggest Broadway stars of the early 20th century. And what I loved about this is the fact that Cagney was known to a lot of people as a fantastic gangster actor. And the fact that he was so multifaceted that he could also sing and dance and act this enthusiastic on camera. I think he is honestly one of the greatest actors that ever lived. I mean, if you see his versatility behind the camera, it is actually fucking insane. Like, he switches it on and off like that, like gangster, song and show man, drama man, fucking libtard cook, whatever you want to call it. Like, whatever role he was in,
I've heard him called that quite a bit.
I know. I've heard people say James Cagney, that libtard cook. he's just brilliant in everything he does, and there was so much commitment, there was so much improv, there was so much brilliance in this movie. It is definitely one of the best biopics that's ever been made in history, which I know is not saying much because biopics tend to be stinky doo-doo farts. But
About
this,
Bohemian Rhapsody.
right, exactly. But this in particular is definitely my favorite biopic ever made, and my fourth favorite movie ever made.
Oh, that reminds me of a biopic that I also should have had on here that I don't.
Oh, The Three Stooges 2000.
Yeah.
Because it was trash.
No, I was thinking of Ed Wood. I should have had Ed Wood on my
Oh
list.
fuck yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great biopic.
I forgot completely.
That's definitely in top 3.
I never saw it.
Oh
You should
really?
watch it.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
like
Joe, you would love it.
like
I
I love Tim Burton's movies, so like my favorites are not necessarily like his best movies, but I think Ed Wood is like his best like serious directing. Like it's him really like showing what he can do,
100%.
relying on like his like whimsical style, you know.
And I
Okay.
think that the casting choice to have Martin Landau as Bela Lugosi
He's so good.
was just amazing.
Yeah.
I never, like, if you said that to, if Ed Wood didn't exist and you said that to me, I would have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like Martin Landau, but it was so funny.
Yeah.
So the third one I have in my next top 3 is His Girl Friday, which is a screwball comedy directed by Howard Hawks. And before I actually get into the movie, the thing I really respect about Howard Hawks is the same thing that I equated to James Cagney, is that his versatility behind the camera was insane. Like, this is the same guy that directed the original Scarface, which is what the De Palma one is based off of, Rio Bravo, The Big Sleep, the original The Thing, which is what John Carpenter based his movie on.
Thing from Another World or whatever.
Right. Red River, El Dorado, To Have and Have Not. Like, his library of films is insane. And you're like, wow, one guy did westerns and horror and screwball comedies, and like, what the fuck? Like, these days you wouldn't hear of that. Like,
Yeah, that's just like an old Hollywood thing.
right. That's not, and a lot of people would try that and it didn't work well, but it was amazing. Like, anything he touched was an instant hit. So this is a screwball comedy, which, if you're unfamiliar with the term, the simplest way to explain it is, it's just like a comedy on cocaine. So there's a lot of machine gun wit. The dialogue is quick. There's a lot of slapstick humor. There's a lot of, how do I say this? Taboo situation. No, not really. It's just like, obviously for the 1930s, it was a tad bit risque, but it was one of those movies that, like, no matter how hard I try to not think about it, I'm like, wow, that was pretty much Cary Grant's best movie, and Rosalind Russell's best movie, and Howard Hawks' best movie. And I think it was fucking fantastic. My second is The Maltese Falcon, which, just to start with, is is an excellent example of a remake that's way better than the original, because a lot of people don't know that that's a remake. And I mean, we're talking the early 40s this came out. The original came out sometime in the 30s. And you have Humphrey Bogart, you have Mary Astor, you have Peter Lorre, you have Sidney Greenstreet, which I think it was his first movie. And this is a case of, this is 100% what a noir is, and it definitively set the template. And it was directed by John Huston, who is another titan in films. He did Treasure of the Sierra Madre. He did The African Queen. He worked with Humphrey Bogart a lot. And I think he nailed noir and Western to a T. I think he understood exactly all the elements that had to be included. And The Maltese Falcon was good because it was almost, the way it played out, it was almost a black comedy. It was a very serious movie, but it was one that included a lot of comic relief in the sense that you're pitting these characters against each other in very tense situations, and you can't help but feel that somebody's breaking here. Like there's little lulls in the story that make you go, wow, that's very interesting. That's kind of funny actually, how they're this fucking serious. They all are kind of against each other. It's almost like Rat Race. It's like they're all like after this prized object. But that's an undertone. Like it's a very serious movie, but you also have this secondary layer of comedic relief, which I've never really seen anyone tackle, so I thought it was interesting to have that view on it. But Maltese Falcon, yeah, it's obviously an age-old story of corruption and greed and what money does to people and how they'll fight hand over fist over anything. So, and the fact that again, it's a remake and it was 1941, it was based on a fucking old book. Like it's hard to execute that when you have all those things working against you. So the planets just seem to align on that one. But my number one movie is Vertigo. And it's been Vertigo for a long time. And I don't know if it's going to change for a long time. And I think that a lot of people might call it convoluted. A lot of people call it confusing. A lot of people call it super long. But what Hitchcock managed to do, I mean, it's obviously his masterwork. It's essentially what Citizen Kane was to Orson Welles. And the fact that it's just such a haunting telling of a unique story. I mean, there's nothing special about A Case of Vertigo, but the fact that you're introducing noir and psychological horror and elements of thriller to this fucking cop who's like deathly stricken by this one ailment, and he gets played double time by this girl. It's Kim Novak. She's playing one role, but she's actually playing another. It's essentially like, the only way I can really describe it is if Christopher Nolan made a movie in the 50s. Like it's so multi-layered, it's confusing as fuck. You really have to pay attention, but the payoff is tremendous. It has you constantly questioning what the hell you just watched. And it's such a rewarding experience because it reminds us we all have shit going on. It doesn't matter who you are. You got something. You got a mental illness. You got a physical ailment. You got a struggle. You got tragedy in the past. And the way Jimmy Stewart was able to convey all of that in his body language, in his delivery of dialogue, in his expressions, it's fucking brilliant. And the way Hitchcock would block off certain shots to give a certain character dominance, because the movie is ultimately about control. And so the way Hitchcock was able to do that with either secondary characters or primary characters was brilliant. And I think that, yes, I ride Hitchcock's dick a lot, but I think in this case, it is definitely necessary. I think that what he was doing was basically unheard of at the time. And his use of color, especially for a movie in the 50s, like his use of color was brilliant. It completely displayed every single emotion in that scene without you even having to understand the dialogue. Like it could be in Japanese without subtitles, and you would still understand the emotion you were trying to feel. So it's just, obviously I could go on and on, but that will remain my number one favorite movie ever.
Yeah, the color in that movie is definitely something that you remember, even if you like, only saw it once or only saw a couple scenes or something.
Yeah.
The color definitely stands out. It's like almost oversaturated, and it like makes the movie look like, I don't want to say like dreamlike, but it's definitely like a little bit surreal in like the usage of the colors, and it's really cool. It creates a really effect.
Yeah, in a sense it's dreamlike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so definitely number one. 100%.
Bad, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty bad actually.
Bad.
And Bernard Herrmann scored it, which is another reason I love it.
I only watch movies in the 21st century.
Get bent.
Dude, I watched Xenon.
Oh shit, you're right. That's good.
I watch all of those during quarantine.
Did you
Nice.
actually?
Yeah, they did. They're actually fucking amazing. I love those movies. Like the second one is, well, second and third one are pretty fucking bad, but yeah, Disney Channel original movies. I didn't hear any of you guys mention those. Those are actually top 10.
We didn't get to my top 5 yet. Just wait.
He's got Sweet Life of Zach and Cody on
It's just Smart House 5 times.
there.
Fuck yeah.
Cinema.
Blake, are you next? Ben?
Yeah. All right. So now we're in my top 10. So
Oh God.
number 10, I have the original Friday the 13th.
Hell yeah.
That one just, I had to have it on here. I love it personally, and I know it's kind of like dated now, but it's one of those movies where so many things have been like inspired by it and like ripped it off in one way or another,
Yeah.
that watching it comes off as like a very basic slasher movie nowadays, but in the context of the fact that it was like basically one of the first in that format, at least, it you realize like how important it was.
Yeah.
For sure.
9, I got the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Bad.
Again, just like it's just like a groundbreaking slasher movie to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is necessarily like objectively true, but as far as like mainstream movies, it's one of the first like supernatural slasher movies. Like Freddy is kind of a unique character in that way, because
Yeah.
both Michael
Yep.
Myers and Jason kind of start out as regular serial killers, and from the first movie, Freddy is like this supernatural being, and that's I think that's really cool and unique. It's like it stands apart from like Michael and Jason to me.
Michael.
Leatherface. I also have Nightmare on Elm Street 3 just because it's my favorite of the franchise. Dream Warriors.
I was wondering when you were going to talk about Dream Warriors. I was like, that's got to be on your
Dream
list
Warriors,
somewhere.
That's like my favorite 80s horror movie if I had to pick one.
Yeah.
It's just like it has every single element of like 80s horror that is like defining of that era is in Dream Warriors, so that's why I just love it, and it's got a great theme song.
Hell yeah.
The next two are both the first, the original, and part 2 of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Hell
Mm.
yeah.
Two very different movies, but both of them I think are really like important, smart movies. Part 2 doesn't really get recognition, but if you watch it now, you kind of realize like what they were going for with it, and it's basically like supposed to be kind of like a deconstruction of 80s slasher movies. It's very like meta and it's weird as hell, and I think it just deserves more credit for being like kind of like a commentary on 80s horror. And then the original is like another one that's like, I don't know what I could say about it that hasn't already been said, but it's just one of my favorite movies. I love it. Yeah, that is, what was that, number 6? Okay, so now in my top 5,
Oh God.
Hereditary and Midsummer are both in here, which we've already kind of talked about.
Hell
I
yeah.
also have Annihilation, which was kind of like an overlooked movie.
Oh, I still need to see that. Fuck.
That movie is
Yeah,
fucking phenomenal.
I was like a huge fan of the book going into it, so I kind of knew like what I was getting into. And the movie's very different from the book, but it still like blew me away, and it was like just like I wasn't ready for the experience of like watching that movie. It really is like the kind of movie I was lucky enough to see it in theaters, and that was like a really great way to experience it. But it's definitely worth watching. Like turn off all the lights and just like sit and commit to watching the whole movie in one sitting, and like I think that you'll be blown away by it too. And
Oh good.
yeah, and then so my top 2, number 2, I have Beetlejuice, which again is like I've seen that movie maybe 100 times, maybe more. I love it. It's just a great movie. Definitely my favorite Tim Burton movie.
Beetle guys.
And number 1 should come as no surprise because I feel like I talk about it all the time, and it's The Shining.
Bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Pretty bad movie.
It's a rom-com, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Did you hear that Shelley Duvall got abused?
Damn.
So yeah, those are my favorites.
Oh my God, dude. All right.
Popeye with Robin Williams.
Number 10 for me would have to be the album, the first album by Panic at the Disco.
Oh fuck, classic.
Number 9 is the All Time Low. Oh wait, wrong list.
Oh fuck.
Um,
No.
Let me get back. All right, number 10. Number 10 is The Elephant Man by David Lynch.
I still have not seen that movie.
Yeah.
I cried 3 times watching it.
Holy shit.
I was very sad. It's one of my favorites. It's so good. Okay, number 9, Do the Right Thing by Spike Jonze. We got what is so funny?
Do you mean Danny Aiello wasn't actually a racist?
Spike Jonze, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh wait, I actually did fuck that up, and I'm an idiot. That wasn't even a joke. That's Spike Lee. I said Spike Jonze.
Oh my god.
Just play
fuck
with it
off,
being a
Joe.
joke because it was a good joke.
Yeah, just let's roll with it.
Alright. Number 8 is The Shining.
Bad.
Bad alert. Batty. Number 7 is The Dark Knight.
Oh shit.
That was like the first movie where I would like watched in theaters, where like I saw it multiple times.
Me too.
I saw the movie about probably like 9 times in theaters, and I was just like absolutely like mesmerized by that film. I still am. I was like rewatching clips a few days ago on YouTube, and I'm just like, how the fuck just like that movie like surpassed so many other fucking films. Like it's just like like I don't know. It was like a huge like stepping stone for cinema.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. There's not a lot of movies like it, at least before.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like one of those movies that are so like unique, but then like now everyone's like ripping it off. So
Yeah.
then we got Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We got Home Alone.
For sale, Francis.
Oh fuck.
Cinema.
Number 5, we got Home Alone. Number 4 is Good Time.
Oh, hell yeah.
Number 3 is Back to the Future. And number 2, Shaun of the Dead.
Nice.
And number 1 is The Social Network.
Oh, not good. Not kidding. I still never seen it.
You really never seen it?
Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
You can lose my number. It's fine.
What the fuck? Watch The Social Network. It's on Netflix.
No. Do the right thing.
Spike Jonze. Isn't it funny how I spent hundreds of dollars on The Social Network vinyl, and then 9 Inch Nails just repressed it recently?
Hell yeah.
Is that fucking awesome?
That's pretty Kino of you, to be honest.
And it's like literally being mass produced, and it's only selling for like $30. I
This
want
is
to
a
die.
soundtrack.
Kink.
I want to die. Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross.
Yeah.
Atticus Finch.
Yeah.
Girl with the
That was,
Dragon
like, one of,
Tattoo
like-
also.
Ooh.
What?
Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. They did the soundtrack for that too.
Yeah. I loved all of their scores. I think they're
Yeah,
fucking
they're
amazing.
incredible.
I'm,
They sound like 9 Inch Nails songs pretty much.
Yeah, basically. That's why I love them so much. But I think they did the soundtrack for Watchmen too. They just won they won an Emmy for it. I think it's called an Emmy.
Yummy.
But yeah, I love movies.
Shaun of the
Can't
Dead
relate.
is crazy because you essentially can't make a zombie parody without it looking like a ripoff of Shaun of the Dead now.
Yeah, like that was. It was like
What?
that's it. Like it's over now.
Saw
That
that
genre
movie
is
so
done.
much.
Yeah, Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg completely fucking nailed it. Like you can't do anything with it now.
I mean, there's really not that many after. There's like Zombieland, obviously, but
Yeah.
I feel like that genre kind of moved to video games.
I'm a
lately.
gamer.
Like they don't really make zombie movies anymore.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I don't know. I
that's
feel
true.
like like the zombie like renaissance of movies, like it kind of came back with like Shaun of the Dead and like George Romero's last few films.
Mhm.
Like, and then once Walking Dead came out, everyone was just trying to rip that off, which I still don't give a fuck about.
That's a fair point, Joey. Yeah, I watched the first, I think, like 2 seasons, and it got so redundant. Ooh,
Mm.
is that Flab? What up? Why don't you play with it? Be like Sandler from Click, playing with a slab. Is that where the milk goes for the cereal?
We're gonna have to put this episode on our OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, only cinema.
Only films. I hate myself.
Cinema.
So I guess we could talk about like honorable mentions now. A goofy movie, like
An
unironically a goofy,
extremely
movie.
goofy movie.
Yeah.
No, just the original.
I realize now, like, I didn't put any David Lynch movies on mine.
Oh my
So
god,
I definitely
dude.
would put Eraserhead because that's my
That
favorite.
yeah, that would be a mention of mine as well.
Bad.
My number one was actually Norbit.
Yep.
Vertigo was an honorable mention. Let's see, Freddy Got Fingered.
True.
No, Ikiru would be an honorable mention by Kurosawa.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot looking at it now that like directors that I like totally left out. But it's hard making these lists. Like narrowing it down is hard.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. That's why I had a little bit of reservation at first with this idea, but I think it was important.
No, it's fun though. It like really challenges you to like think about what movies you feel like really deserve to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because like I love the It movies. I didn't have those in here. Like
Yeah.
Shawshank, Green Mile,
Mhm.
those other Stephen King movies. Those are all great ones I didn't put.
I would like to also shout out Castle Cagliostro, Lupin the Third, which
What the
was
fuck is that?
I will explain. He's like, fuck. So that was the first movie directed by Miyazaki.
Yeah, that too. Like I didn't put any Ghibli movies.
Right. So
Damn.
like then he went on to do all the Studio Ghibli movies, but Castle Cagliostro was the first time you actually saw his expertise.
Studio Ghibli?
Behind the Studio Ghibli. And I think it's really good. Like even if you're not really into anime, I think you should check that movie out.
Yeah, I mean his movies are kind of like they're like anime for people who don't watch.
Right,
anime.
they're like watered down anime.
Yeah, it's easy to get into.
Yeah, so I would definitely recommend that one.
Also, honorable mention number 1 spot, Cannibal Holocaust.
Oh shit! Oh my god! There's just so much film out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be honest. I named a lot of the big ones that I liked a lot. Like, that's like hard. Like, I watched a lot during quarantine that I really enjoyed. Like, The Thing. I watched that for the first time. That was so amazing. And
Yeah, that one too. I don't know how I don't have that in mind now that I'm looking at
The
it.
Thing was gonna be in my list, but 100% honorable
Yeah.
mention.
Yeah,
let's
even
see.
They Live also.
Yeah.
School of Rock.
Oh shit! Yeah,
True.
that's true.
That is a good one.
Honestly,
It
like,
taught you to love yourself.
dude, I fucking love School of Rock.
I
That
do
movie is
too.
so underrated.
You're not hardcore.
Facts, dude. Let's see. Toy Story 1 and 2.
Yes,
All-
Toy Story 1 for sure.
Uh,
100%.
let's see. Adaptation. Fear and Loathing.
It's a good one too.
Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century.
I also realized I didn't put Hellboy in mine, and that's like one of my favorite comic books.
Oh, I love Hellboy.
Yeah, I should have had that.
Same.
The new one?
No, I did not see the new one.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Did you see it? I still haven't seen it.
I didn't bother.
I'm waiting for it to go on a streaming service so I don't have to pay for it because I refuse to pay for it.
Same. Even if it's like a $1 rental. Like,
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
it's
wanna
got to
buy
be
it.
free.
Yeah.
And then like Hellraiser, I didn't put Hellraiser, which is another movie that I love. What else? I mean, I could put like literally all of the Friday the 13th movies. I like pretty much all of them.
I wanted to put Heather's on there.
Heather's
good.
a good one.
Yeah. I also Roma, which Joe you mentioned.
That movie was so intense.
It was, yeah. It was great.
I honestly would add Little Women to mine also because I really love
Hell
that
yeah.
movie.
Oh shit.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one that was like very outside of my normal like viewing habits, but I was very impressed by it.
My Little Women.
I would add the Pope of Greenwich Village to mine. What else? Fuck, cinema. On
Kind
your
of
bit.
like if I had to
let's-
pick one Marvel movie to add to my top 50, which one it would be?
Probably Infinity War for me and Guardians of the Galaxy.
I might go Guardians or Thor Ragnarok. One of those.
Oh, Ragnarok for me. I
Yeah.
think
Those
that
are
was
probably my favorites.
yeah.
Another good one is Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
love that movie so much. Very I love cult movies. The Room.
We got to
I
watch
like
that one night.
Also,
What else?
the little 2008 film called Twilight.
Fuck yeah, dude. Don't at me, that movie rips.
What do you mean? You mean
I'm
with
not gonna
Baby
lie, I
Boy?
watched it recently and I enjoyed it just as much
Yeah,
as I did.
because
With
it's
Baby
good.
Boy?
That's why you enjoyed it.
You mean
Yeah,
with Baby Boy Pattinson?
Dude. He's so sexy.
I've actually never seen Twilight.
Wow. Fucking get off this podcast, bro.
I remember
I'm
seeing
kind of a
Twilight.
fake fan.
I saw Twilight on a date in high school.
Shit, was
And you jerked off in the theater.
Yep, it was a date with myself. It was a date with my Robert Pattinson body pillow.
I saw it with my dad opening night. And I
And you
just thought
jerked
I heard it was just a movie about like vampires. And then Edward Cullen showed up on screen and all the girls started screaming in the theater. And I was just like, I think I'm bisexual now.
And then your dad was like, "No, what the
I
fuck?"
think that
was
movie made me bi, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah.
Or at least the soundtrack did.
Yeah, I agree.
I also would put the Phantom of the Opera on here.
Mm.
Bad.
Also, The General with Buster Keaton.
I'd also add, since you mentioned vampire movies, Lost Boys. I would definitely put.
Blood-sucking
Brady
Bunch. Yeah, that's hell yeah.
I just watched
cinema.
that the other night too.
Cinema's pretty okay. The Invisible Man.
I would also put Scream.
The Invisible Man, baby.
Which one, the OG or the new one?
Oh, the OG. No, I still need to see the new one.
The new one's good.
Yeah.
Oh, the new one's awesome.
Yeah.
I should rent it. I assume it's come down in price, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely want to rent that. I also had No Country for Old Men.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's
I
right.
forgot.
Also, another like grouping of movies that I didn't include that I feel like I should is all the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
I really didn't have like any Spielberg on here, and like E.T. I would put on my list.
Dude, it's because he's gay as fuck.
I would have had Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, actually.
What about
Of course you
Mr.
would've.
Holiday?
What about what?
Yo, dude, no
Mr.
cap.
Bean's Holiday.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dude, the first Bean movie rips.
Honestly, I would even like, since it's just my own personal picks, like I would put the Austin Powers movies
Yeah.
on a top 50 list.
As top 3, 2, and 1.
It really is.
Shagadelic, bro.
Remember? I love you guys.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those have been movies.
Yeah. let's
Take
not
it or
watch them
leave
ever
it.
Again.
We'll
now
still
that we
be
named
here.
our top 50, let's stop watching them.
We could also just end the show now.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a popcorn?
I'm eating a giant bag of popcorn.
Did
Wow,
you sprinkle COVID on it?
Sicking
I
with
did. I actually did. And it's kind of good.
And then
fucking die.
So for everyone listening, I'm going to give away 50 copies of Norbit on Blu-ray. All you have to do is stop listening to the show.
All I have to do is unsubscribe and leave us a 1-star review.
Everyone give us a 1 star.
Yeah, we only have one star. Can we increase that?
Yeah, I think that our goal should be to be the most 1-star rated podcast on
The lowest rated.
So I guess real quick, we should plug our Discord and our watch
Mhm.
parties.
Discord's been fun as hell. The watch parties are a lot of fun.
It has. So
Yeah,
for
Dude
those
Next Week
who
one was great.
So for those who haven't been following, we created a Discord recently, and we've been hosting Monday movie nights in there. So we basically just hop in a voice channel, and then we talk in a text channel, and it's pretty fucking cool. So I will post the link to the Discord in this episode, and moving forward, we're going to hold polls to see what you people want to see. We're probably just going to watch Norbit every week,
Yeah.
but you know, we'll pretend like we're listening.
We should do some shitty horror movies for like a Halloween season.
I honestly, for October, I would like to try to do more than once a week. Because there's a lot of horror I would like to cram in there. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We're quirky. We're cute and we're cool. We'll probably just watch 8th Grade and go Gucci the whole time.
That movie is so good, dude.
Oh my god, that is the embodiment of cringe. Like that is exactly Bo Burnham hit the fucking nail on the head with that movie. It was insane. Yeah.
Comedy.
So movies. Yeah.
Movies, Discord, COVID
we
popcorn.
Yeah, we should plug the lobster.com real quick.
Yeah, lobster.com.
It's your favorite lobster messaging service. Pay $5. You can send a lobster to your loved one. It comes with a little mask now because of COVID. So it might like rip it off with the claw. We don't rubber band the claws, by the way. We just let them roam free. We figure we're not cruel to animals, okay? So $5, you get a message on a lobster. It gets sent to your house. Family friend,
no
one's enemy. No, don't tell me no. It's happening. It's absolutely happening.
You're sick.
We are fucking doing this. Okay. So anyway, that has been our 50th episode. I hope it was worth the wait because I certainly didn't think it was. And like I said, I will post the link in the Discord. We're going to be doing a lot of watch parties. I plan on doing another giveaway soon. We'll reveal the details on that. It'll probably be Norbit. And other than that, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Unless you guys had anything else you want to say.
Nope.
Yeah. Vote for Donald Trump, baby.
Yeah, okay. So this has been the Silver Screen Fiends podcast. Joe is officially off, but I've been your host, Sam.
What?
Oh, man. Don't listen to the show ever again.
Joey!
Please X out.
It was a good 50 episodes. Here's to 0 more.
Hell yeah. I've been Sam, that's been Joe, that's been Blake, and we all love you, kind of, sort of. Not in that way.
Fuck off.
Okay, let's eat popcorn together. That's cute.